Fanthorpe, and I'm your host today. As usual, welcome back, or welcome if you're just joining us for the first time. So today we've got Glenn here from Spike. He's been educating us on email marketing and all that stuff. And today we're going to actually delve into the ultimate Mailchimp template and how to use it. So super useful information today if you're using Mailchimp or if you're considering using Mailchimp. So Glenn is a Mailchimp power partner. So we're very fortunate to have him on because he's an expert in his field. In fact, Mailchimp call him the consistent cash man. And who doesn't want a nickname like that? So we are streaming live on a number of platforms today. We are on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and here on Zoom. So you can participate in a number of different ways, just using that comment section, the Q&A function, or the chat function, depending on what platform you're with us on today. So please pop your questions in there for Glenn. He's great at answering them throughout the session, and at the end of the session, and after the session finishes. It never ends with the amount of questions that come through, and we love it. So thanks for joining us. If you're with us on Zoom, just in case you didn't know, you will receive a copy of this recording in your email. It should come through in about like 24 hours. So have a bit of patience. You can always find all of the recordings from the middle of January on the main dashboard of Digital Boost. There's an in case you missed it section, and you can check that out. And by the way, if you're not registered to Digital Boost and you stream with us on one of these other channels, you're missing out on provider offers from people like Glenn. And so get yourself registered. Why not? It's free. Glenn, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us again today.
There you are. Good morning.
Atamarie, Glenn. Is that a Mailchimp shirt? You're like, really, I thought you are branded up today. Yeah,
I am. Like you can see his ear. I thought it was a bit colder earlier, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to wear it. But as we were talking before, the sun's come out. So they send me stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really looks quite beautiful. We love being in your shop with your car and all your Spike gear. Now I'm going to let you get started because I know we often go over on these sessions because there's so many questions and so much information. So I'm going to check the background, but I will be here looking for your questions. Those of you that are popping in hellos already, welcome, welcome. We are so happy to have you join us today.
Right, here we go. So good morning. The ultimate Mailchimp template and how to use it. I can see it's just loading a little bit. So today, as always, I'm really stoked. There's quite a few people on today. It's probably because we're in lockdown in Auckland and some of us are not at home. This is a bit odd. This is taking a little bit longer to load than I would have expected. There we go. Yeah. So the ultimate, it's funny, like when you're at home, I was just a little bit concerned about today because we don't have fiber where we are. It's in the road and we're waiting to get it in and lockdown has put it off. And so I've actually, this morning, I thought, you know what, I'm going to ask the kids because it's cloudy and stuff and it uses an aerial. I'm going to ask the kids to get off the internet. So anyway, the ultimate Mailchimp and how to use it. So the outcome today is to know about the template we use at Spike to build emails quickly with Mailchimp. And that's the key, to be able to build emails quickly. You can do this in any email platform, by the way, but we're talking about Mailchimp today. So hello, Glenn from Spike. I'm coming to you live from my office, which is in my workshop. And I believe that the value of your business is in your customer database. And even 20 years later, email marketing or email is still the most effective way to keep in contact with those people, to stay top of mind and prompt those actions that we turn into sales. So, I've been helping businesses put a spike, get it, in their sales since 2001. So what we're going to cover today is what is a template? And I think this is quite a key thing to think about because not everybody knows. So the different types of templates, the benefits, what's a hybrid template? I've put that in quotes because I'll show you what the difference is between a normal template and the one that we use. A template run through, and then how you can get yours. So today, what is a template? So a template is an HTML file with the general layout of the content and of how that new emails can be created from. So as an HTML file, you can see what it looks like below. Usually these are actually sitting in your email platform. So when you saw it, you'd probably see it, just sitting there like this. But look, templates are distinct from one-off emails, right? Because of their reusability. That's the key with a template. You can reuse it over and over again. And it means that when you start a new email, you're not having to recreate the header, the footer, maybe even the layouts. You're actually starting from something that you can use again and again and again, and it really speeds things up, right? So as I said, they're normally saved in your email provider. In Mailchimp, you can see that if you go into campaigns, email templates, you'll see them there. The hybrid template we use looks like that on the right. So as I said, that defining feature is the reusability. And you might be looking at that one on the right going, well, that's interesting. Like, where do I put all my stuff? But we'll get to that. So the different types of templates. There's quite a few different types. And where you usually start with them is right here, is in Mailchimp. So as you can see, there's templates for selling products, making an announcement, follow-up ones. And if you have like a welcome email or you have just a full newsletter email, in my other workshops, which I decided not to put it in today because I've actually put it in so often, but there's 3 distinct types of emails. There's a sales flyer, which is the sell products. Then there's the make an announcement. Now that would be a news flyer. So that might have a maximum of 6 products. And then the newsletter, which is, telling a full story. And look, to be honest, I think that the days of really long newsletters are done. And we should be sending one of my mantras, sending less more often. If you send less more often, you're actually going to create you're going to do a better job because you're going to be staying top of mind, and you're not going to be like putting the onus of having to read through all this stuff on your customers or on your readers. So think about short and sharp is going to work a lot better. The other thing is it means you can send more often because you're not stressed out about sending some massive missive that no one's really going to read. So look, there's a lot of options. This is from Mailchimp. And as you can see, the built-in templates in there, huge amounts. My only thing with people using inbuilt templates is they forget to change things. So, I think Mailchimp does a very good job of talking you through what you should be doing to update these. But I do feel that, you need to be onto it. You need to make sure that the colors match the branding of your business. And I actually think starting with a template that's been designed for your business is a much better place. But look, you can jump in here and you can just create, whatever you like. You can also buy them from there. There's a lot of Mailchimp experts that sell templates, and you can actually buy templates quite cheaply. So have a look in there and see what you can find, and then maybe get one modified color-wise, logos, things like that to suit your business. So the benefits of there's a couple of main benefits of sending templates, right? Of using templates. So the first one is saving time. And I use this image because time to business owners sometimes feels like just sand running through your hands, right? You've got this bunch of time and it's just going. And I feel like we need to be really conscious of our time, and we need to really use it effectively. So the key thing to sending lots of emails when you want them to go out on time and at a right frequency is that you use templates. They'll just save you so much time. We create a lot of templates for people that they actually use themselves, and they sometimes come back to us and we update them, or we might show them something else that we can do with that template. But having templates, so I think the two of them, you need a sales flyer with just a single product, and then you need a news flyer with, you know, up to 6 products in it, something in between. But it's going to save you so much time, and I think that is the key thing for businesses, especially when it comes to marketing, is being really effective with your time. So you need to save time wherever you can. The other thing is it helps you be consistent. And, you know, this image, you know, we've got the 3 things that are going to help you be consistent, right? Have a goal. You need to have goals, right? You need to have goals for your emails, and it has to be part of your marketing plan. So to me, a lot of people just tick the box when it comes to emails. It's like, oh, shivers, that's right, we've got to send an email, and they just fire it out. They fire it out with no thought, really, and they fire it out with no testing. There's no A/B testing of subject lines. They haven't come up with, like, you know, 2 to 5 subject lines that actually create the best subject line. And so they don't have a goal. They don't have a plan to get to that goal. And then the discipline just goes out the door, right? And look, I know that we're all working on ourselves, and discipline is quite hard sometimes. But I wonder if, you know, if you have the goal and then the plan to get there, the discipline actually just turns up, right? It's just suddenly there. So being consistent is going to be the easiest thing to get to your goals. I might have gone a little bit off piece there, but, you know, this is something that I'm really passionate about, is people being consistent. Because if you're consistent, people trust you because you did what you said you were going to do. And that is very rare in this day and age. We might take it for granted personally because we do that. It's actually very rare. It's very rare for someone to do what they said they were going to do when they said they were going to do it. So, you know, being consistent, building trust gets loyalty. You know, people actually expect you to do, they trust what you said you were going to do, so they trust you. You get this loyalty and you get people talking about you. And yes, it can start at your email marketing, and it starts with that sign up form, getting a consistent frequency. Very passionate about that, as you can tell. So look, personalization is the next thing. Yep, using a template you've already designed. You know, all you have to do is plug in your content, right? So the header and the footer is going to stay the same. The sections are going to stay the same, but you can use dynamic content within that template to personalize it to people, and that works obviously very, very well. You know, this guy's obviously very excited because a company got him. The next thing it helps you to do is to scale up. So, you know, if you want to send 4 emails a week, which a lot of businesses don't do, and they should be, you need to use templates, right? Because it's just going to make life so much easier. It also means that you can create them in advance. So if you've got a plan and you've got the frequency that you want to send them at, you can, in a template, you can actually send a lot more emails. And, you know, I'm sure that one of the questions at the end is going to be, oh, I hate receiving emails, or, you know, and like, I'm going to say this right now as we're going through, I do not care. I do not care about you. I care about your customer. Now, I care about you from a business point of view, like I want to help you grow your business, but I don't really care about your inbox, right? I don't care about how you feel about what's in your inbox, because at the end of the day, this works. right? Staying top of mind and prompting an action works. Yep, if you're not One Day or Mighty Ape or even Amazon, you probably shouldn't be sending 2 or 3 a day, but you should be sending generally 2 or 3 a week. Like if you've got an e-commerce site and you've got 50 plus products, how can you not send an email a week or 2 emails a week? Like, like it's pretty easy, and it's just because you don't have a plan that you're not doing it. And so if any of you are sitting there today listening to me and watching me get quite, passionate about this, like you need to really get with the program, right? An email marketing program. You need to get with the program of sending more emails. It's going to make you more money. Like that is the bottom line. Okay. So if you're sending 1 a month, it's nowhere near enough. Even if you're a B2B play, like you can send more emails than what you think. And the thing is, you just need to send stuff that's relevant, right? And you need to make them short. Don't send these big newsletters, send short to the point emails, and people are going to really like them. You're going to be very surprised. So hopefully that put off that statement near the end. But yeah, New Zealanders are not sending the amount of emails they need to reach the goals that they want to reach. So what is a hybrid template? This is where my presentation today gets a bit exciting, because we're going to go off to another tab and I'm really not sure what's going to happen. So a hybrid template is one that is hard-coded, but you have the ability to drag and drop content into it. And this was actually created by another Mailchimp partner some time ago, and we changed it and we got the code off them and created our own one. Not many people do this. It's a very cool piece of kit. And it means that, like, if you want to scale up, or if you want other people to be able to send emails, within your business, that means that you can start with this type of content, this type of template. And it means that that when it goes out, it's going to look exactly how you wanted it to look. So there's a bit of safeguard, and it helps you scale up because more people can send emails. So here's an example. Now, and you can see this is for the Hamilton Waikato.
Can we make it bigger? Because we can't see.
No, you won't be able to see the one on the left-hand side because it's just giant. I put that in there to illustrate a point. So this is actually a template in there. This is like the original one, but the thing is when it goes out, it actually doesn't fill out. So there's a lot of hidden fields, but we basically accounted for every single thing, every single like content thing that you could do. So we've got 2 columns, single columns, 3 columns, text. We've got everything in there, and it's just huge. But that's not what they send out, right? Now, when you zoom into it closely up the top, you can actually see what it looks like. It's got the header, it's got their social links up the top, it's got the intro block. One thing I just want to add here is, like, you can see in behind, there's a header image in behind, just letting you know that in Outlook, that won't show. So you need to have a think about what you want to put in, what you want to do there. But usually you can have a default. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that is actually their template. It's huge, and they use this a lot. And so, but it breaks down very simply. So yeah, sorry, I can't zoom into that.
So we've got, that's all right. We've got so many, like we've got heaps of questions coming through, and I'm just wondering if you want to carry on or you want to address some of the questions.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to just get through the next thing.
Okay. Let's get through the next thing, and then we'll.
Yeah. That's the template run through, and it's like we have to head off to Mailchimp. So I'll go and do that now. And so what I have to do, I don't. We have to go to here, and then we have to. I don't think I can. I'll just make this full screen because I can't do the present mode. So this is in Mailchimp itself, and as you can see, we're in campaigns, and then we've gone to email templates, and this is where you would have your template. So we'll open this up, and let's see. Like this is working pretty well actually. So excuse my bit of loading time. It's not generally how it is, but yeah, we're all taking a hit on our internet speed.
It's happening. It looks like it's happening.
Yeah, we're all taking a hit on our internet speed, aren't we, right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this here is a hybrid template. So as you can see, it's actually laid out really nicely. But if we preview it, I'll just move this down. All of that stuff disappears. So what we've done with this code is that we can actually turn sections on and off. And in this template, by default, they're set to off. So when it sends, it doesn't take all that code with it. It's a very cool piece of kit. But and Gary, who built this for us, has done a really cool job here. But as you can see, we've got all these different content blocks, right? So we can turn them on and off. And as you can see with this little eye, but say if I want to drag an image, and everyone loves drag and drop, right? So we've got an image over here, and then I'll just save and close that. And then we can put some, let's put some boxed text in here. And then what we can do is we can like start to look at this whole thing and have a think about like, we're starting to create it now. And it just works, I don't know, it's very cool and I quite like it. So we're trying to get as many people as we can to kind of have this idea, because like you could even put this image group here. We'll put it in here. And as you can see, like it's really starting to form your email, right? But the thing about it is that as we're creating this email, we're actually staying within the bounds of the thing itself. So by the thing, I mean the template itself. So with the branding. So yeah, it's very, very cool. And I'm finding this is pretty easy actually. So, but as you can see, we're creating all these, excuse me, we're creating an email as we go, right? And we can even put when you put videos in, just be aware that they don't really play. So they have an image down the bottom, but what actually, you can put your video URL in here from YouTube or Vimeo. And generally what it does is it'll put the, like it'll just have the thumbnail in there. And then when you click it, it'll go through and you can play it. So I don't want you to have any ideas that you'll be able to play video with an email, because that really doesn't happen. So the easiest way to do it is to actually have the YouTube link, which means that in Gmail, it's going to be down the bottom of the email. And then, or you're just going to click off and go either to your website or to YouTube to watch it. And it's very rare that you would ever see it play within even your Apple product, just because you'll be in your email client and watching it in there. So, and it won't play video. So the thing about this is I just want to show you this, like, just take a bit of time, like, because what we're doing here is creating this really cool, like, email, but we're not really going outside of the design. And in fact, if I preview this now, because I don't think I turned anything on, even though I've dragged stuff in there, there's nothing there, right? So if you're worried about like what's going to be seen, but you can see like we're slowly creating, well, actually very quickly, if you think about it, we're actually creating an email. And so this is why using a template, so we've got the outline of where the content has to go or can go. We've got the header and footer locked, so we're perfectly on brand. All the colors are going to be right. And then we can just start dragging and dropping things in. And very quickly, you can see that we're creating an email. I think this is super cool, right? And why I like this better than just the drag and drop is because we found that the limitations with drag and drop means that you're just not going to get what you actually want in your email. So I think that's probably enough to go through, because I feel like, yeah, well, I can see we do have quite a few questions today. So I'm going to, I'll just bang out of this.
There's actually like a really good, really relevant kind of question in regards to this. So it's like, why is using a template better than simply duplicating a formatted campaign with all the logos and links of the business and changing the content?
Okay, so that's a really good question. And the simple answer is that not many people test their emails well enough to make sure that all of the previous links and images have been updated.
That's such a good point. Like, you have to really fine tooth comb that. Like, and
to be honest, it sometimes chucks some extra code in there as well that you don't want. So starting from clean means you are going to have the least amount of code, which means you have the highest chance of getting your email delivered to the inbox. Yeah,
that's really good, because I know that we just copy campaigns too. So now I know we've been, we shouldn't be doing that.
No, you shouldn't. Every time. Can you see my? I just wanted to share this before we head off into my next slide.
Yeah, if you just, I would push the plus and scroll up and see if you can make it just a little bit bigger.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just zoom in a little bit.
Okay, so with these templates, there's always guidelines. So we have like videos that we can show people how to use their templates. So it doesn't take much.
Sorry, Glenn, zoom in instead of out. You kind of zoomed out.
Did I?
Yeah, it's like smaller now.
Oh, weird. Because on my screen, it's like full screen.
Oh, okay. Maybe click out of that, because it's not.
I'll bang out. Okay. So now I'll get back into my presentation, but look, we don't leave you high and dry with these things. We make sure that you actually have some instructions and some support to go along with them. So there is another place that you can have a look at this. On our website, you can go to if you go to my website, so spike.co.nz, and you go to blog, and then you put in how we do, what will come up is how we do setting up a drag and drop template in Mailchimp. And this is a run through of Duncan Venison, and you can actually see me taking you through like how we set that up in there, set that up for them and how they use it. So if you want to, if that wasn't enough for me when you rewatch this again in Digital Boost, go to here, do that search, and you'll be able to find it. So I think the next thing today, and I've realized I actually have gone faster than what I thought. So how to get yours. So this is probably a question that we get asked a lot. So the quickest way to get your one is to go to our workshop this week. So if you go to Spike, and there's a Digital Boost offer for this too, like it was sent out in the email last week, and I think they're doing it again. So go to our workshop, sign up for the workshop. There is a small fee, or if you want a custom one designed and set up for you, and we can show you how to use it, you can just contact me directly. So what we covered today in my pretty much shortest workshop to date is, what is a template? So it's a reusable email copy. The different types of templates. So, starting with sales flyers, which is single, welcome, anything you can think of. There's all these different types. Start with the one that you want to use first. I think the two templates you should have is the sales flyer and the news flyer, which has got, say, 4 to 6 products in it, or sections. And then the benefits of using templates. So we talked about being able to be consistent, scale up, and save you a heap of time. And to be honest, time is money too, right? New Zealanders, and in fact, I got this off you, Anna-Marie, are quite happy for some reason to spend time to save money. You need to, if you're listening to this today or watching it again, you need to flip that on its head. We are one of the only cultures in the world that will spend time to save money. We call it the number 8 wire ethos, right? It's our thing. That is holding the country up economically. You need to start thinking about how you can spend money to save time. And it will take you a little while to get your head around it. But when you do, and you do it aligned with a plan and your goals, then you will accelerate.
That's super important, having that plan, isn't it? It's like we're not just like spending money everywhere. We're actually like, okay, let's look at our budget. Let's look at where we can put some funding into this so that we can be, out there making sales or, whatever it is.
Yeah, you've got to make effective use of your time, right? So we talked about what a hybrid website is. So it's a cross between a hard-coded or hand-coded and a drag and drop. And for those who think like drag and drop is the way to go, if you actually read on the Mailchimp website, it'll tell you that if you want to do like better emails, you should hand code your emails. Like it actually says that on the Mailchimp.com website. So, if you do want to just step up and look better than your competitors who are just using a standard, maybe free account and a template, like get one designed for you. I'd even look at the Rocket Spark designers. There's a heap of really good designers who are Rocket Spark partners who do some really good job. We did a quick template run through. That's just was to show like how you can use very quickly the hybrid template in Mailchimp, how to get yours. The best places to come to our workshop. So.
And I've popped that link, the how to get yours link, if you wanted to. I've gone to the site and I've popped it in the chat. So you can click right on that link there. And even if you're on any of the other platforms right now, I've put it in all those platforms so you guys all have it.
Awesome. So your action for this week, and I don't like really creating work for people, but this is work that's going to save you time, a lot of time in the future, is go and create a template that you can reuse. So look, it's time to win with your business, right? Not just email. So if you'd like help with your business, we can help. Go to the workshop with James and I this week, spike.co.nz/workshop. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. And
you're really great. Like you always have been very good at the people just calling you and asking for a little bit of advice, and you're quite happy to.
I am. I think like it's really important that we do that, and we, like I've been in business doing this for 20 years now, so I think it's important. We've been successful, got a lot of experience, and we need to give back. So look, our goal, James and our goal, is to grow 1,000 businesses to $1 million. And someone pointed out to me that that's $1 billion. So we'd like to add $1 billion to the economy.
Yeah, cool.
And we can do it. There's plenty of businesses in New Zealand who could get to $1 million if they set the goal and stuck to the plan.
Yeah, I know. I think that we also have to believe that we can do it. Hey, like I think that a lot of times we can't visualize ourselves getting there, and that's half of the battle. I think is just being having enough confidence in yourself that you can be successful. It's it's not some elusive thing that somebody else can have and you can't have. We've got some great questions here, so we'll start delving into those. So one from Wendy here: I recently tried integrating my clients' first names, merging into Mailchimp campaigns, but in the test email, the font for the name is different from the rest of the email. So I opted to stick with "Hi everyone."
So the way to fix that is actually just quickly having a look at the code, and or just selecting it and making sure that they've both got the right code. So that would be a very simple fix. happy to help you with that if you like. Actually, just email me. We'll connect to your Mailchimp account and then we'll sort it out. So what I need from you to connect to your Mailchimp account is the email that you log in with.
Yeah.
And we'll sort that out.
So a question here from Lara. You know Lara, she's always here.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah. So if I'm going to launch a marketing campaign, do you think the central channel would start with email, then repurpose content to any other platforms, ? Am I right in thinking start with the pre-captured target audience, then progress on? This, I think, is my plan. I really want to understand a strategic point to start with. Agree with all the points.
So, okay. Yes, because Lara, if you have a customer database, it's always the place to start, right? Because if you're not, I don't think you're treating them very well. And the fact is that they've given you permission to talk to them. So start there, and if you send your email, then you post on Facebook at the same time. And those have to, so for Equip Outdoors, we send an email and it has all his products in it, right? And then on Facebook, we post and we have all of those same products linked and tagged because he's got Facebook shopping in that. And that's what we do. And then, you might resend that email. We don't repost though. So I think, yes, I would start with email, get that message out and post on Facebook, the same message. You're going to get it lifted engagement on both sides. And then, just go from there.
Oh. Okay, so we've got a question, one from Facebook. So I want to do that now so that I can come back here. And it's just, if you're using Active Campaign, is that workshop that you're running still relevant?
Yep. Yeah, okay. For sure. We're an Active Campaign partner as well. And I'm actually, if you're doing e-commerce or you need a CRM, because we're looking at CRMs for e-commerce too. But if you're B2B and you're using Active Campaign, it's very good. Very good. We like it. It's got a way better CRM than Mailchimp does. So really useful. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can see the questions there too, can't you?
I can see. So I've got Bridie up first.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 3 to 4 a week for sales. How many emails would you recommend for a service-based company, i.e. writing, editing, photography services? Okay. So that's an interesting one. I mean, probably 1 a week, right? With a resend. Because if you're writing and you're editing and you're doing that every day, or you're answering questions, you can use that idea that I have, the power of the BCC, which is when you answer a question, you BCC either yourself or another email address with the answer that you wrote. So you BCC your answer and you can create some content around that as well. But I think for someone like that, e-commerce is the 3 or 4, to be honest, depending on your products, of course. But if you're a service-based company, at least 1 a week plus a resend, right? And then, you could send 2. You could send, I have my Monday Motivator, which is completely different, right? There's no sales in that generally. I might chuck something in, but, and then we might have email tips. So, or email marketing or marketing tips. So I think, you could easily send out 1 a week, 1 or 2 a week.
And people often say I'm worried to share too much. But what I've been told by a lot of people, and I'm sure you agree, is don't be afraid to share your knowledge. A lot of people get really afraid to share their knowledge. Oh, I don't, but actually, you're unique and the way that you perceive it is going to be different. And the way that you execute it is going to be different than somebody else.
Can I also say, you don't always have to be selling,
I thought you told us last time, always be selling.
Well, you do, but, and your content doesn't always have to be selling.
I'm just kidding. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm just messing with you.
You do. You always have to be selling.
Yeah.
I always say, A/B testing, always be testing.
Yeah.
But, but you can
I think
always be
that's the
selling.
difference, is that your content doesn't always have to be a sell, but being top of mind is the way that you're selling in that instance. So you're like maybe
Exactly.
having that presence,
Yeah.
even if you're not selling. Because I think it's something like it's like 20% of what you do should be actual sales, depending on what you're doing, and the rest is like kind of staying top of mind. I heard that somewhere. I think you're going to disagree with it, but
That's,
that
that's an interesting point though, because like, yeah, I suppose like it depends what business, what industry you're in.
yeah.
But if you're selling products, yeah, that's an
You want to
interesting
be selling.
point.
Yeah.
You want to be
Yeah. So I
selling,
guess,
right?
like you just people don't want your communication with them solely to be sales. They also want like value as far as getting to know you, or, understanding your brand or what you stand for. Like those are some other areas that you could have content. And that ties into this question right here. Um, if you are sending 4-ish emails weekly, how do you keep finding content? Already running out of ideas for social media and posting. Is there some sort of idea strategy that you recommend?
That's a good idea. That's a good question. Can I, so on that question, finding content. Do you know what? Because I suppose we all struggle with this, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you have a plan, like an activity planner, especially if you've been in business for a year or so, you can actually have a look at what you did last year. And we do that with our clients all the time, because like what worked last year, we should do that again this year, right? And so, looking at what you did in the past, just looking at what's going on around you. I mean, this is the thing about social media, right? We think that we should feed the beast. And I think it becomes very stressful. So, email is really good for two things, which I'll come back to before, right? It helps you stay top of mind and prompt in action. Social media is generally about brand and education. So if you think about social media as brand, education, and getting people onto your list,
yeah,
it should make creating content easier, because, like if you're selling, like say if you've only got 10 products, then really like what could you say all the time? Well, you just talk about what's going on in the world. You document what you do. Like it was like, hey, here's how we make our thing. Here's how we do this. People are interested in that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And you can start to test. The other thing is like, I was thinking about like, there's no one here from One Day or people on those big sites, right? These are all small businesses. So you can talk about your customers, you can talk about their successes, their failures, you can talk about your successes, your failures. You can talk about a lot more stuff about you and what's going on with you, because I feel that building that kind of brand building is going to keep you like in business. And I always say, the longer I stay in business, the longer I stay in business. So I think like you've got to think outside the square, as in, should I always be like promoting products, or should I always be posting on this? Or no, you don't have to do any of that stuff. You just need to have an activity planner that lines up with your goals, right? Have a look at what you've done before that works and reuse it.
Yeah. And a couple of things, like as somebody said to me, they believe in random acts of content.
Yeah.
So like, like if something pops up, pop it on your socials. Another great tip is to think about having pillars. Like, what are your pillars? What do you stand for? So maybe, you've got 3 pillars. So say for like, so one tip that I kind of do is I've got a throwback Thursday, so that's something I did in the past. I've got something present on a different day. And I've got like a discussion on a different day, discussion question. So I do either a quote or a question. So that kind of, it breaks up my content. So it's not all sales, but I get to speak a little bit about who I am and who I was and where I came from, and give props to that. There's a good talk that we did with Krupa from the Attention Seeker.
I wrote that down, because I was going to say that honestly, that presentation with Krupa is so good. Like, she's
She
very
did
good.
two. So she did one, it was the hero's journey, like your hero's journey. And then she did a second one recently. And it was about, content, and it was about like personal branding and all
That's
of
the
this
one to
kind of stuff.
watch.
That was last week.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
made
So have a look for it. I'll try and pull up the link for you guys and pop it in there. Now, I've also popped in a link, and we've got more questions and I see them. Don't worry, we will get to your questions, because Glenn he knows he gets lots of questions. So he actually does a shorter presentation and then we get into the nitty gritty. So I've also popped in a link there for this website called Screaming Frog. And Screaming Frog has an SEO spider, but the only thing is you can only kind of look up one thing a day, one or two things a day before it wants you to buy a plan. So think about what you put in that search engine before you go in there. But what it does is it actually creates this list of all the questions that people are asking about your industry. So perhaps you put in there pottery, or you put in there like physio or something. It pops up this whole matrix, and it's got all the what questions, all the why questions, all the who and how, and all of the questions that people have been searching for on Google. And so what you do is you pick one of those questions and you go ahead and answer that question. And that'll help you with your authority, like having that content. You can put it in your email. It's a great way if you're struggling for content. That's a really good thing you can use. And there's also some good sites that will give you blog ideas, like 100 blog ideas, that could be another site. I'll find that link for you. So let's have a look at another question here. Let's jump over to here. So it says, I'm a practicing CA and just sent notifications about the changes brought in by the IRD and other compliance related information. Do you think a template is a good idea?
Yes, and I think that what you're sending is boring. So because well, let me tell you. So accountants, this is all they do, and it's like, okay. No,
it is what you do. You are the expert.
You need to and I'm sorry, I'm just hassling. But the thing is that it is boring, and the other thing is my accounts lady sends me that stuff well before my accountant sends it to me, right? And so what we use with accountants. Definitely a template, and it's in one of my previous workshops, but we have an activity planner for our accountants, and what we actually send is we have like a question of the month, because we use the power of the BCC. I think accountants, lawyers, professionals are getting asked amazing questions that they're not using for their content, and that question, once you've answered it, Baptiste, you can send it out. Like you can create it so you've got your template, and it would have an introduction from you. Hey, here's what's going on. Hope you're well in lockdown. Here's our question of the month. And then you've got your question. And I mean, really right now, accountants should be sending out a little bit more, because most of us haven't got, I just got my accounts this last week and I can't go in and see my accountant. So like perhaps you should be booking Zoom calls with your clients so you can run through their accounts, right? But there's so much more that you can do as an accountant, because you are a trusted advisor. Like, your shit. And so, and so you should be using that power of the BCC, MBIE, to actually, inform people and advise them. So yeah, there's a lot more accountants could be doing just sending that. And yes, you need a template and have a question of the month. If you've got a team, you can introduce them.
I love that.
Lots to do. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It happens. I think actually I noticed that more here in New Zealand that will happen. I saw a shocker happen the other day on a radio talk show, or it was I think it was a radio talk show where it was quite intense, where they didn't realize.
You're welcome, Baptiste. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so
Tracy,
another question.
Tracy's one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Tracy. So you can do Tracy's? Yeah.
So if you can, yes, Tracy, if you're consistently sending, which I know you do on a Sunday, And I hope you're well.
Let's read the question because everybody else can't see it, I don't think.
Okay.
So if you're consistently sending one email at least a week in the lead up to Christmas, do you let your subscribers know that you're going to start sending 2 per week?
Well, actually, Tracy, yes, you do. The answer is yes, but I would like you to send a few more than that, because you might have heard of the 12 days of Christmas. Well, that gives you license to send an email every single day. And so, well, I think it does. And you only do it once a year, right? And the thing is that you've got to use these opportunities. You know, we've got Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I don't think that Cyber Monday is a thing for, apart from if you're a tech store, but Black Friday, you know, you've got that as well coming up. So you can send a couple of emails in the lead up to that. People don't mind. So and then once you've built that template and you've run that the first year, and then you do like your 12 days of Christmas. And by the way, that 12 days of Christmas has to end on the last shipping day. So the last shipping day that you can get something to the South Island. So the last shipping day you can get it to the furthest possible place. You kind of have to time your 12 days of Christmas with your last shipping day. And yeah, just tell people, hey, this year we're going to be doing this. And look, if you're sending out, like, just keep it really simple, just one product a day or one offer a day. One thing that I see a lot of New Zealand businesses not doing is sending out offers. And I'm not talking about just sending out your products. I'm talking about offers on those products or promotions on those products. You only have to pick one. And if you do that, you're going to get lots more clicks. You're going to get lots more activity. And so think about that promotion and then make a note of it. And then next year, if it works, you can run the same promotion and you've already got kind of the template set up for it. So
yeah, awesome. Okay, another question. Am I able to set a macro-like template for use to preset parameters for brand voice and tone, etc.? So virtual assistant, outsourced consultant can come along, pick up, and then create with a preset given, i.e. does Mailchimp allow me as an overarching authority allow only the following to be created along with the final permissions? This will allow for the best.
So I don't know the answer to the second one, but I'll tell you to the second part of it. But the first part of it, yes, you could use like that template and know that when they build it, it's going to look exactly how you wanted it to be built, right? It's going to flow, it's going to have all the branding. So yes, set it up. There's only a couple of levels of access in Mailchimp. You know, you've got like admin, manager. So what I would do, Lara, is with your VA is I would have a list, and it's a checklist of how they send out your emails. And they will follow that checklist, especially if they're from the Philippines. I find like all the VAs in the Philippines are amazing generally, very qualified people. But if you set a list for them, they will follow it. And so one of those things on the list would be to send you a test. Or
always send a test to yourself.
And they will. So you cannot send that email until someone else has seen it, right? You could just have it like that.
You just got to check the links, you know, you got to make sure that the spellings are all correct, you know, give it a once over. It's worth it. Because there's nothing that I, you know, as a former English teacher, like drives me more mad than like errors in spelling and grammar and that kind of, you know what I mean? Or that kind of thing. You click on and then the link doesn't take you to the right place. You're like, oh, you know, like I'm trying to buy this, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing you don't want to happen is really like someone's interested and then they can't get to your stuff. Sure. So yeah, awesome. Great question, Lara. I can see you've got another one down the bottom. Let's go back up to the top. Any thoughts or ideas on ensuring how your email gets into the inbox versus the promotions tab?
So as I said earlier on, one of the ways is like starting from a template and having the least amount of code possible. That's a good start. The other way, like I think double opt-in works, but really it comes down to people engaging with your email, having lots of clicks, You know, opens are pretty much going to be gone soon. So you're going to start seeing 100% opens. That's because of this new iOS update. So clicks is going to be where it's at, right, for engagement. It's a good
and you
question.
can see that in your analytics. If you don't know what Glenn's talking about, they like each email will give you like analytics on how many people have clicked through on the links that you put in there. Like actually gives you a number.
Yeah, and I think so. The people who we've never looked at opens as a really good measure. It's about engagement, and engagement is how many people are opening or are clicking through and reading your content and coming through to your website. So did I answer that question? Yeah, I think so.
You did. And that kind of ties into this one from Warren. I sent a Mailchimp last week to schools. The opens were 35%, but the clicks were none. What could be the issue?
So the first thing is that there were no clicks to click. So I don't know. I haven't seen your email. You could send it through to me so I can have a look. The other thing that we find is, Warren, you probably use the general school list that everybody uses off martins.co.nz, one of those lists. And the thing is that they are not going through to the right people generally. Like you actually have to, like you need to get through to the right person. So that's the other reason. So one would be there wasn't anything to click. The other thing is they're in lockdown and they're not really interested in new stuff right now. They're just trying to, you know, get their students online. And then the other thing is that went through the wrong person. So you just got to have a look at that list. A lot of people use that schools list and it generally doesn't go to the right person.
Good point. Okay, as one strand of your content creation plan, I would suggest using answer the public. Thanks. I was looking for another thing that I had. Yeah, that's a great one to see what kind of topics people ask about Google surrounding their product. I'll grab the link for that. Thanks. I knew there was another site I was looking for. Do you want to go to the next question, Glenn? I'm just going to grab that link.
So is it okay to use a free account? What do you get? So look, Warren, yes, it is okay to use a free account. But look, Mailchimp have really locked it down and you can't do lots of stuff. Like you can't have a really good branded email template. Like you can't send enough emails. We've got someone who had 3,000 people on their database and we could only send 600 at a time, or she could only send 600 at a time. You know, they're just locking down that free to make it as simple, like I think there's not much you can do. To be honest, Aweber is free. It's probably got more things that you can do in it than Mailchimp's. But, you know, I feel like you've got to think about what you're trying to do. And if you're trying to grow your business, you know, spending a little bit of money every month to get those extra features, to get that extra, because like you get better stats as well, right? Like you get to be able to see what's going on. You get to be able to send better emails. You're going to get a better result. You get access to way more stuff in the back end as well, and experts directory and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I've popped everything in all the chats. Everybody has that answer the public. Thanks so much again for that. Okay, is it okay for account? Okay, we got that one. Okay, if I'm moving my web domain from one host to another to create a web hosted email, does this change any of my domain settings?
So Charlie, I saw that from you this morning. So I'm just going to look into that because I know you're a bit concerned about it. So it shouldn't, but I think like because you can have email on different domains. So I'll look into that for you. But yeah, you should be able to leave your hosting at GoDaddy, for example, because I think that's where yours is, and then and have your email somewhere else. But there's just some settings, MX record settings that have to be done. So because I know that like when you've paid for a year at GoDaddy, like are they going to give you a credit if you move it across? But maybe First Domains can help with that. But I will get back to you today on that as well.
Awesome. So, and next one, Laura, connecting in an authentic and genuine way, selling to me is building trust and love us is paramount, passion and drive, but with an underlying point of real. My message story is all driven by integrity. This is the foundation of my business. Planning is vital, intertwined with coming up with real perspective. So email is now central to my marketing strategic plan. And the last comment there was pretty funny. So yeah, like that's, I think, one of the statistics that you always talk about, Glenn, and you can tell us the numbers again here, is that how much each platform is worth. It's like $11 or something is like,
oh yes. So how much each user is worth,
yeah,
within, so like, an email user in an e-commerce site especially, it is worth 7 to 10 times more, or even more, 15 times more. We saw on one, email addresses. Look, even though I don't know how controversial I can be, but hey, I'm me. So here's the thing. I was on a call with a Facebook marketing expert the other day, and I don't mean someone from New Zealand, Australia. I mean someone from Facebook themselves, right, in Singapore. And she agreed with me that building your list is what you should be doing. And you should be using Facebook as a tool. The problem is, what I've seen is that Facebook and social isn't being used as a tool. It's being used as a strategy. And like, it's just not how it is, okay? It's a tool. And I do know that there's the odd business that is like a bit different. And, like the waist trainer girl. But, you don't hear the part of the story where she built a list and she also spent $300K to get one of the Kardashians to promote her. So, I think like you've got to build your list. You've got to think about social as a tool, and it's got to be part of your tactics, because honestly, too many people are wasting their time on social. And look, you're just on, it's basically like talking into a vacuum. Like there's no one there, like no one is seeing
the organic reach. Like we had Ian Howard on from Bright Street Studio, and he goes on TV, and he goes on some actual TV shows, and he talks a lot about tech, and we're finishing up. This time goes so fast. So, and he was just saying, in reality, there is no organic reach anymore. So if you're trying to get organic reach from these sites, you're just not going to get it. Like those people who had started a while ago, that was work. It was happening then. You can still get a little bit from LinkedIn. It hasn't been totally taken over yet. If that's one of the platforms that works for your business, just remember that that's a business platform. So, like if I'm on LinkedIn, I'm not there to buy like dog collars for my dog. You know what I mean? Like know what the platform's uses are before you start selling them to somebody that's not who I am on LinkedIn. I'm not shopping there, but
you're paying to play. You're paying to play. And the thing is that most New Zealand businesses are 3 or less people, and you don't have the money all the time to play. And that's why grow that list. You could get to 100 people so quickly and more. And I just think, it's very, you need to be really make effective use of your time, and sitting there posting and answering comments on Facebook is not generally, from what I've seen, a very effective use of your time.
Just keep directing them back to your site, like keep getting them on your list, because you own
them on your list.
You own that, but you don't own Facebook. Just remember that. Like I use Facebook for my business. Other people, it is a useful tool, but just remember you don't own it. And I think that's really important. And use it like use it. Don't let it use you.
I like it.
So we're out of time. We've got to come in here. Just very informative, learn lots, and we'll now bring this into my planning. Yes, build the list. Looking forward to the next session. Yeah, indeed. So you can always get in touch with Glenn at Spike. You can go to his website, or find him on LinkedIn. And he's got some really cool things coming up with James McComb, and we're looking forward to finding out all the good details about that as it unfolds. and they've put together like a little discount for their workshop if you want to, learn about how to actually create reports, so that you can look at your data like easily. That's what that workshop is all about, and you're going to learn how to do all that. It'll be really cool. You should have gotten it in the email, but like Glenn said, if you go to the website, you'll find it there. Just look up spike.co.nz/workshop. Easy enough. And thanks for joining us today, Glenn. As always, I love your sessions, and I love the engagement from all of our DVers, like on multiple platforms, just popping questions in everywhere. That's what makes these sessions really special. So
brings me a lot of joy. I decide I'm turning 50 this year, and I decided that by 50 I wanted to be really doing something that I enjoyed, and this, I love this stuff. This is so exciting, and I love all the questions and the all the interaction. Very cool. So
we appreciate your time. All right. Well, have a wonderful day, everybody. Stay safe. Kia kaha, stay strong. Remember, if you need mental health support, ClearHead, you get a free account with ClearHead with the Digital Boost, because you're a digital booster. It's a great platform that you can use. I've tried it out myself. You can get supportive services. You can do activities. Like, there's heaps of things there for you to kind of learn about your mental health and to get support. So please take advantage of that. If you need more information, contact support@digitalboost.co.nz. Okay, because we care, and so does ClearHead. Thank you so much. Thanks, Glenn.
Kia ora, everybody. Thank you, Anna Marie. Bye.